Hi, this is Elaine Page, your CSD liaison from the library. This session is about chasing down references from review articles or one empirical study to find additional studies. So if you need help with basic searching in CINAHL or Medline, please check out the graduate tutorial on searching CINAHL. It's available on the CSD 507 Research Methods site. So I'm starting with the library homepage at library.elmhurst.edu. And in this quick start box, I'm choosing course guides and going to CSD 507. When I get to CSD 507, the homepage, this is where our tutorials will live. There's one there right now for searching CINAHL. And then we're going to go to the reference sources and articles. And then I'm going to go into CINAHL. To save you time, I already searched. I already set up my subject term. This is my search. One thing that I did not mention in the basic tutorial is in CINAHL, you can actually tell it a particular kind of, there's a whole bunch of limits that you can put on at the very beginning of your search. And I always forget to share that. So I'm doing that now. You'll see there's a publication type. Right now, because I want to show you how to use a systematic review, I'm going to choose systematic review from here. So I've highlighted it. If I wanted to highlight more than one kind of article, I don't know if meta-analysis, yep, meta-analysis is there too. I can hit the control button and click it, so I'd get both of those. And then when I'm done, then I hit search. And so I found 120 different reviews, either systematic reviews or meta-analyses. So in this case, I found several with full text available, but CINAHL also has the benefit of sometimes some of their articles actually list all the cited references. There's more about using that link in the CINAHL tutorial. So we're going to go with just looking at one of these. So this is the effectiveness of acupuncture, and here is the full text of the article. So I'm grabbing this and I'm going all the way to the end. And here are my links. So there are a ton of references in here. So I can grab one of these and note down the information. So I am going to take a look at what looks good. I'm going to look at, let's grab Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation. So I've got the archives. I've got volume 86, number 8 from 2005. My page numbers are helpful sometimes, and at least one author. So I'm just taking notes about this information. So I'm going to see if I can find this article. So I'm going to go back to the reference sources page, and at the bottom is a link to our citation linker. We are in the process of switching citation linkers, but as far as I know, this one still works. So I can go to the EBSCO citation linker and include all of the information that I've got. I know that it's volume 86, issue 8. I wrote down my start pages. The date was from 2005, and I've got the first author. If you are lucky enough to find a article that has a DOI, a digital object identifier, or a PubMed ID, you can skip all these other fields and just put that information in here. But I don't have that for this one, so I'm going to try it this way. So I submitted it, and that looks like the right article. So all I needed was the author's name and all the information about the journal, and it found it for me. And it says the full text should be available at the publisher's website. So if I click on this, there it is. Fortunately, this is saying get access, so that concerns me a little bit. But if that happens to you and you get some, oh, there we go. Try it again. We'll keep trying. Nope. I think this is just going to take us around in circles. And that happens sometimes. We are, like I said, we are in the process of doing this transition. So sometimes things don't work exactly as we want them to. If that is the case, please contact the library and let us know that you ended up in a crazy loop, that it just kept taking you around and wouldn't let you get to the full text. And then we can help you either request it through interlibrary loan or actually find out where it really is full text. So in this case, that did not do what I wanted, which was unfortunate. But that's how I would search. So I'm back to my article here. Let's go look for a different article. I'm hoping to find an article that has, oh, here, let's take a look at this one. So this is from the American Journal of Speech Language Pathology. Hopefully some title familiar to everyone. It's taking just a minute to load. Okay, so I've got my article. I'm going to go to the end. Here are my links, my references. So you'll notice in some of these cases, there's a DOI. If I click on the DOI, it's going to take me to basically the journal's page. It doesn't ask anywhere along the way, hey, are you affiliated with a school that might have access to this? So sometimes this hot link looks like it's going to be amazing, but it actually doesn't take you anywhere useful. So what you would actually want to do, which is a little hard with PDFs sometimes, is grab, I'm going to actually just copy that link address. So I right-clicked on the link and I'm going to copy the link address. I'm going to go back to this citation linker and I'm going to jump down to the bottom and I'm going to paste that in there. And now what I have to do to make this work is take off the part about the URL. So everything up to the doi.org/ I remove the number, this bunch of numbers and letters, and then I hit submit. So you'll see here it is, neurology, neuroimmunology, and neuroinflammation. So I'm going to go here and cross my fingers. And in this case, yes, I got the full article. So that actually worked the way it was supposed to. Hooray. Okay, so that's how I did that and got to the full text. So I grabbed, I copied this link and then stripped the URL part out of it from the search box, the citation linker. So I would do that for all of these that have a DOI. In other cases, you'll see like here's a link directly to a website, you know, another website, so I can just jump right to that. But for most of these, there is a DOI for the articles, so it's really great. You can just grab those links. Here's one from this Dysphagia Research Society, so there's some stuff there. So it's, you know, if you've got the DOI, it's actually pretty darn easy to connect to these articles if it doesn't take you directly there. I should mention the newer version of the citation linker is part of BlueJ Search. And so I will add that link down here at the bottom of this reference sources and articles page. But in the meantime, it's available here. So if I go to BlueJ Search, I could copy that same information. Oops, I lost the 10. Let's see what happens if I do this. It didn't understand where I was looking. So there'll be a link directly to the citation linker on your page, but it works the same way. I could grab this, strip off the URL part, and submit. So it shows me all the places that it's available for free in this case. So I could click on any one of these links and it should give me the full text. So that's how it works. They're both very similar. I just wanted to show you what they look like as we're transitioning this semester. Some of our databases may link to the old citation linker. Some may take you to the new one. So I wanted to show you what that looks like. With the time I have left, I want to just spend a minute back in EBSCO, just mentioning a tool that we have available. It's called MyEBSCOhost. If you are in CINAHL Plus or Medline, you'll see there's this option to sign in. So if I sign in, I can set up a new account. So I can create one down here. I can actually, if I already have a Gmail account, I can use that. I have had an account for 1,000,000 years, so I have a very old account, but it still works. So I'm going to sign in with my account. What's nice about having an MyEBSCOhost, you'll notice now there's a little My up by the search box, and it says sign out. I can put things in folders. I can save things from multiple databases, so I can save things from CINAHL and Medline and put them into a folder. So as I'm looking at this list, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do this. There's this little folder, and because I've already signed into MyEBSCOhost, I can say I want it to go in this folder, Kinesiology Allied Health. And now it shows me it's yellow, it's got things in it. I can actually go to that folder. So then I could go look at the folder. And I see I've created a whole bunch. You'll see I have one right here called CSD Practice. Here's the Kinesiology and Allied Health one. So I can see the 6 things in that folder. So there it is. And here's that article I just did. So it's nice. You can compare, sometimes you're like, did I see that article already? Put it in the folder using MyEBSCOhost. It'll show you that it'll say you've already added it to the folder. Sometimes it might, like in this case, there was an update to this article. So I got the update too. But it's nice because you can collect things together. Then you can actually email yourself all of the things from this folder. You can click on each one of them and cite them. So I want my citation. Here's my APA citation. They don't quite get it right. Just be aware they capitalize too much stuff in the article titles, and check the current version. I think you have to cite up to 20 authors in the current version of APA. So that part looks right, but this should be in sentence capitalization, not every major word capitalized. So you'll need to do a little correcting in that case, but the information is all there. It just may not be formatted quite right. So that's the cite feature. And then you can get that from any article, but it's kind of nice when you have stuff in a folder. You can then cite a bunch of things together, which is nice. So that is that. A quick search on finding full text and then collecting your resources in folders using MyEBSCOhost. Thanks for watching.